Welcome to Doctrine and Devotion. This is a bonus episode. What's up, everybody?
Is it bonus or are we just dropping on Thursday?
Oh, that's right. Well, it was going to be a bonus episode, but now it's just going to drop on Thursday because we'd rather just give this the proper attention that it does need. We've done hundreds, literally, of podcasts on the 1689 Confession and Catechism, so that'll wait a week. We'll be back to normal next week.
Yep.
So
back to the regularly scheduled program.
My name is Joe Thorne. I'm the lead pastor of Redeemer Fellowship in St. Charles, Illinois.
And I'm Jimmy Fowler, executive pastor at Redeemer Fellowship.
You know, I was sitting here waiting for you to arrive.
Yeah?
Sitting here, and I was like, you said 3:34, 3:30 or 4, in between, somewhere, 3:30 to 4, and of course, there's a little fudge room on that too.
Mm-hmm.
Then I noticed, I'm like, oh, it's not going to be 3:30, it's not going to be 3:45. I said, okay, so he's definitely pushing for 4, and he's got a lot going on, he's busy. And then it was 4, then it was like 4:04, and I'm like, that's weird. If he's late, so there's a reason that he's late, and I wasn't sure what that reason was. I didn't really care until I saw.
You always care.
No, I don't care, but until I saw why you were late, and then I was very invested.
Oh, well, you're gonna share why I was late?
Because Jimmy stopped to buy us a pound of fried gizzards.
That's right.
Oh, woo! Love fried gizzards.
Oh, it's so good.
Yes, don't tell
I can't
Jen.
resist. Well, then why do we put it on here?
She doesn't listen.
Yeah, but
I'm telling people, not but that's what I'm talking to them. Don't tell her.
But they're gonna.
No, they won't. Yeah.
Jen Mon's gonna tell.
No, she won't. She might.
She will.
So,
but how's your week been?
Well, it's early. I took Monday off.
Oh, that's right.
I took a personal day, and I'm working on a book proposal.
Okay.
So working on that, and
you sure want to put that out there?
Yeah, I'm working on a book proposal. Doesn't mean anybody's gonna like it, but
that's why you wait.
Yeah, I don't care.
Oh.
It's real. I just keep it. I tell people what I'm doing. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. That's life. People need to know.
Now, is it?
Listen, publishers turn down a lot of book proposals. I'm not going to be the weird one if they turn mine down.
Have they ever turned one down?
No, of course not, because I'm Joe freaking Thorne. No, they've always been very kind to take a chance, and it doesn't always pay off for them. But they've been very nice. Hey, don't say it like that. Oh no, yeah, they learned the hard way.
I was going to name one.
Okay, well,
Sorry, I can't do it.
Oh man, you're going to put me on. I'm going to be in a bad mood. No, it's been a good week. I took Monday off, so I found a new cigar, not a new one, an old cigar shop out in Lisle. Huge, giant place, really cool, nice selection. And the guy said I can just post up wherever I want, even let me use the members' room if I want.
Nice.
Posted up there, got a lot of work done
for a nominal fee.
No fee, just I bought cigars.
Is this the one that Casa did? Casa?
No, definitely not.
On my phone.
Definitely not. So I did that, and then it's been a good couple days, getting a lot done. Had a good meeting with my discipleship group today, and
as did I.
Mm-hmm. Well, we went out for breakfast to an old school diner. What did you do?
Arcidio.
Ugh.
What do you mean?
Well, they got like the worst coffee. Like you could go to like 3
worst coffee.
Grams is better, and
all right, coffee.
Grams is way better, and they have better baristas. And the other one, the weird one, right on the corner, is better coffee.
I don't think so. I disagree with that.
Well,
yeah, I disagree with that.
But
you're right about Grams.
Yeah, you don't know coffee very well. Though,
I do know
because I talk to all the experts.
Oh, do you? Here we go.
I consult them, and that way I can.
One of the things about being Joe's friend is you realize that Joe's an expert at everything.
Nope. Sometimes I just
everything.
Sometimes I just know the experts.
Everything.
And then those experts inform me. So I don't have to be the expert.
Everything.
As long as I can quote the experts.
We talk about it over at Redeemer.
Yeah. I know stuff. Or I know people who know stuff.
We talk about Joe the expert. Mm-hmm. Just don't even.
Or expert adjacent.
So usually we just let him go and do his thing, and we just look at each other.
I get tuckered out after a while, and then I just take a little nap.
Yep, we're just
just let him
ramble. Just let him ramble and move on. It's faster this way.
Yeah,
he puts up a fit if you even try.
Yeah, well, I don't put up a fit. I just won't stop.
No, and then you have the look on your face.
No,
you know what I'm talking about?
No,
like your eyes get really beady.
No,
you're like. I kind of know things, and you'll say something like that. In all my experience.
Well, no, this is what you do.
Here we go.
This is what you do.
Here we go. Told you.
As soon as you realize I'm starting to lose this, you'll make fun of whatever I'm appealing to. That's what you'll do. You'll be like, oh shoot, I'm not having anything. So that what I'm going to do then, I'm going to attack what he is. Like, oh, based on your experience, I'm like 25 years of pastoral experience or whatever it is. Yeah, that's what I'm basing it on. You're like, oh, so you've got all the. Then you start making fun of that stuff.
No, he's right about that.
Yeah.
Joe's right. I do that. I do that. And I'm quite happy with that tactic.
Because it works.
It works.
It shuts people down.
I wouldn't do it if it wasn't working.
Yeah, it's why.
Because then it's just being a jerk.
It still is being a jerk.
No, but one's a funny jerk.
Oh yeah,
or at least successful.
Yeah, successful jerk. Yes.
Yeah,
it's the same reason why I appeal to pseudo authorities in my arguments. When I'm starting to lose, I start appealing to pseudo authorities, or I just make up authorities. I mean, it's not. I mean, it might even be pretty close to what we're going to talk about today. I'm citing things that aren't real, or at least they're not like anything that I actually.
I don't know if that's the same.
No, it's not at all. I was trying to make a connection.
No.
I'm making stuff up.
No. See, the connection would have been, what would be easier, Joe, than trying to figure these things out is just to grab somebody else's work and read it.
Yeah, that works too. In an argument. Not so much in the world of preaching.
No.
All right, so we got to get into this. The reason we're coming back to it is because
it's Ed Litton week.
Yeah,
and not in a good way.
No, yeah, it's like, and listen, we don't have an axe to grind with Ed. We really do not.
But I will say this: some of those memes are amazing. I am loving the memes that I'm seeing.
Yeah,
about Ed.
Yeah, well, yeah. Again, it's like because we are mean to each other, and so like our humor has a barb to it, and so like we will say and do things that, like we like making fun. So if there is somebody making fun and if it's funny, then it's great.
It's clever and it's good.
A lot of them, I would say most of them aren't, because people are just grabbing any quote and then just slap it. So if you guys don't know what we're talking about, if for some reason you are completely disconnected from Twitter, Christian Twitter and Baptist Twitter. Let me just give you the rundown.
All right, go.
We elected a new Southern Baptist president.
Yes.
His name is Ed Litton.
Yes.
Okay, there's a small but vocal group within the SBC that don't like him.
Do you think it's small?
Well, relatively small. I mean, I would say I don't think it's 50%.
Okay, I mean, well,
so if it's
how many votes did he have in
he won by
one?
like 600.
No, in round one.
I don't know.
That's where you're going to know. That's where you're going to know what the percentage.
No.
Yeah?
No, because
round one was with him beginning. You can't go round two. Round two is a coalition.
Yeah, well, round four, everybody's split up. So that he might be somebody's second choice, but not their last choice.
How many rounds were there?
There were just two, but there were four guys. So there were four candidates. So somebody said, well, I didn't vote for him. I voted for Moeller, but he would have been my second one if Moeller wasn't there. So that's what I'm saying. Like, you got to go by the round. Point is it was close. It was definitely close. So, anyways, there's a
47%.
There's a very vocal group of people that don't like him because they fear he is too woke, too into social justice. Things like that.
Egalitarian.
They fear that he is egalitarian, even though he says that he is not. And then they will appeal to like a practice where he had his wife on stage with him while discussing or preaching on a Sunday morning for a series, and all of that. Those are all like legit concerns that people can raise. So, what a week after he became president, somebody put on the internets that Ed's sermon on Romans 1 was
quite similar.
Yeah, portions of it were direct pulls clearly from J.D. Greer's sermon on Romans 1. And J.D. Greer was the president before Litton, and
maybe we didn't know that's part of the process.
Oh, is that how you do it?
Maybe.
Okay,
it could have been part of the process. Listen, guys, when you reach that level of what do you call it? Big Eva. When you reach that level of big Eva, you guys just don't understand how it is.
See, we stand on the outside of Big Eva and throw eggs at it. I don't even know if it really exists.
I don't
All right. So anyways, this came out, and so we did an episode on that because it was getting a lot of play. And so, sermon plagiarism, sermon stealing, borrowing sermons, sharing sermons, and all of that. So go back to Monday's episode, check it out. This one's called sermon sharing. There was another one called sermon stealing that we've covered this before. And our basic take was, Yeah, bad, not
Bad
good.
form.
Bad form.
Yep.
But, we're talking about one sermon. We don't really know all the details, but clearly we do know that what he did, he wasn't preaching his own words. He was not preaching a sermon that he built. He was preaching someone else's sermon largely and giving no credit. So
correct.
That therefore means you are preaching in such a way as to communicate this is what I've done.
There is, and again, I've got no axe to grind against Ed, but it calls into question one's integrity, and I think that's actually a very fair question to ask.
Yeah,
right. And I think we're gonna dig into that a bit more. So back to these memes, they're amazing.
Okay, so that's why we talk about these memes that say things like. They're basically pull quotes attributed to Ed Litton because he's basically saying J.D. Greer stuff without saying J.D. Greer's name.
I mean, like for my Office fans, there's a great one of you miss 100% of the shots you don't take, Wayne Gretzky, and then under that, Michael Scott,
but bigger.
Then under that, Ed Litton.
Yeah,
I know. See, Joe doesn't think it's funny. I think it's hilarious.
Yeah,
you have to watch The Office.
Yeah, no, I remember that part from The Office. So there's been a lot of that stuff, and I get it. Now, the reason we're revisiting this is because if we've already dealt with it and there's nothing more to say, we move on. But
why do we have to go back to it, Joey?
Because like 4 or 5 more videos have now been uploaded on different passages where he is. I mean,
and how'd they get them? Because I don't know if this number's correct, and I really don't. But I thought I saw somewhere in a couple different spots, like 140 sermons had been pulled down.
Yeah, and now it's back. Some of them are back up. I think it's like 80 something are still down.
Okay,
I'm not sure.
Oh, so do you think they pulled the whole series and like, let's just pull it and let's go one by one?
I don't like speculating. I don't like it when some of these guys, like for example, I forget the guy's name, but he's kind of a amped. I don't remember his name. But he's one of the guys that roll with the Founders guys. I don't know his name. But if he drops a video, it's going to be like an hour and a half of him talking by himself at the camera. It's a bit much. Now, doctrinally, he's solid. But he was going off saying, like, listen, the only reason that he would pull down those sermons is if there was other plagiarism. And I'm like, well, first of all, you can't say that because there could be multiple reasons. First of all, the staff could have pulled it down. He might not have had no say. In fact, the elders of the church said, we pulled it down because we don't want people just digging stuff up trying to like blast him, which could be true. So that is a possibility. You can't just say the only reason. I can't conceive of another reason. I don't like people jumping to conclusions or drawing a hard conclusion without allowing for other variants. It's fine to say, you know what? I tend to believe this is why, but it's possible there are other reasons. Well, definitely, whatever the reasons were, there was a whole lot of plagiarism going on the other videos because they're being uploaded and they are cringy, embarrassing. I mean, Ed, you're getting like called out hard.
Yeah.
And here's my problem. These videos are embarrassing, and there are two kind of extremes going on. Some people basically they view Ed Litton like Servetus in Switzerland, right? Like, this guy's going to burn. And like, all right, guys, he's not a heretic. All right. We got an issue we got to deal with here. But on the other hand, there's people like, nothing to see here.
Yeah.
And
it's not a big deal, guys.
Yeah,
no, that's a big
This is a
big deal.
This is actually a big deal. Yeah, absolutely. And that's why we're revisiting it, because now that more sermons have been uploaded and we see that this is clearly something that was going on, and it really is extensive. This is not, some people keep downplaying it. Like, so what? He used an outline, or he uses some of the wording. That's not it. He is preaching the same sermon for lengths of time. It is, it's so embarrassing and cringy. So that's why we're revisiting it, because, we had probably a bit softer of a take. I definitely had a bit softer of a take on the situation then than I do now, because for me to not have much information, but to look at, there's one example, like I can say something, but when we see that there is a pattern, then I start to think like, well, what would happen at our church? What would happen at Redeemer if who would be the kind to dig and find something out? Who's our Julie Royce?
So when Brian Malcolm
discovers, he's our Julie Royce. When Brian Malcolm discovers that my sermons are being pulled, all of them, or like many of them, are being pulled from a volume of Puritan sermons that nobody else probably knows about, because I wouldn't preach any contemporary guy stuff, up on my shelf. If he would have pulled those out, I'd be like, uh-oh, he's literally just preaching these guys' sermons at length and never referencing this guy. What would happen? As executive pastor, as one of the elders, what would happen?
You'd be taking a leave of absence.
Yeah, there'd be some sort of investigation.
Yep.
There'd be some counseling.
Yep.
Some exhortation.
And hey, and I've already told Joe, don't get any ideas.
Yeah, I can't wait.
It'll be, I'm
gonna take a vacation.
No, I said leave of absence at 50% pay.
Yeah.
50%.
Fortunately, you don't get to determine that.
Executive pastor, wait till I talk to the other elders.
Okay, that's the problem. Is you talking to the other elders? That could be a difficulty. No, I would get in trouble, and I should, because listen, this is a big deal. And what I want to hit on at the end of this, if we can, is I want us to come back and encourage. I want us to encourage people in the church. There's people in the church that are seeing all this unfold, and they're frustrated and discouraged about, like, are pastors even preaching their own things? They're like, what's going on? I do want to encourage you guys to not give up hope on your pastors, because most of your pastors are working really hard to preach the word. All right, so that's why we're revisiting this, because we said, probably not sin, bad form. He shouldn't be doing this, and we've talked about this at length, and we've written about it. So now we're revisiting it. And what are some thoughts that you're having now, Jimmy, that you're seeing a lot more of this stuff?
So we're seeing a lot more of it. I think. Okay, a one-off issue, like, a one-off can be looked as a mistake, right? What we're seeing is a pattern, and usually people with pattern knows what's going on.
Yeah,
right. They know what they're doing. Now, I want to give Pastor Ed the benefit of the doubt that he did not know. That he wasn't. It was unintentional.
What was unintentional?
Stealing and not stealing, borrowing but not attributing.
See, I don't know that that's even possible.
I don't. I'm trying to give him the benefit of the doubt.
No, but it's not even about giving the benefit of the doubt. He chose not to attribute.
I'm just saying there's a pattern here.
Yeah.
There's a pattern now. You do it once, it's like, okay, that could be a one-off mistake.
Right.
But now there's a pattern. It's harder for me to see it that way.
Yeah, you can't.
But then the other part of me is like, is there something else going on here? And again, this is me working through these things, and I'm not saying this is true.
We're asking questions.
I'm not saying, but based on how he had mentioned about preaching teams.
Mm-hmm.
I'm wondering if someone else had just gave him the notes.
No, because he's already admitted how this first one came out. He said, I asked JD for his notes. I asked JD if I could do this. So,
So hold on. Did JD give him all his notes?
Well, it doesn't say, but based on the fact that he is in detail going through JD's stuff, it seems like he probably got a lot of pastors will share, here are my notes, take them. You want to use them, dig through them. Mm-hmm, like they don't mind people going through it. Then I've seen a lot of other guys saying, like, I give my notes to church planters and pastors of small churches where they're bivocational and they don't have time to prepare sermons, so they could just use mine. And that's a whole nother issue, because listen, if you don't have time to prepare a sermon, you don't have time to be a pastor.
Nope.
Do something else.
Yep.
That doesn't mean you need 20 hours. No pastor needs 20 hours to prepare a message. But if you're the guy and you have 3 hours to prepare for your church, then that's what God's giving you.
That's what you're getting.
And it's going to be great. Do it. Give it your all. It will legit be awesome.
I remember Joe one day was like, all right, man, I'm sick. Actually, this happened twice. So the night before, you let me know. So I wrote a sermon the night before.
Yep.
And then, preached it that morning or the next morning. And then one Sunday morning you called and said, I don't think I can make it.
And I'm like, snow issue, I think.
I got 2.5 hours, 3 hours, just went right to the church, started writing.
Yeah.
Going like that. Thankfully you arrived, but nonetheless, like, you got 3 hours, man, you just do what you can.
Yeah. Yeah. It's much better. I don't buy this argument. And nor do I on the other end of the spectrum. A lot of guys are taking offense. They're like, man, I am bivocational and I work 40 hours, 45 hours a week for my secular job. Then I have to put in, family time, and then I'm working over here, and I put in all this time into my sermon. You aren't the point, bro. Like, that's not a legit argument. You're arguing from emotions. You're arguing from your experience. Like, I get that it feels that way, and that's not cool, but that's not a strong argument. Just because you have less time, and like, I want to.
So sorry, is there argument that they can borrow because they don't have time, or are they upset with Ed? Like, hey, how dare you look at me? Yeah,
you're full time. You've got the time to give this. I don't, and it's like, it's a comparison thing. I don't think a comparison game is ever a good argument.
No, it's great for me because, like, Joe, I give 45, 50 hours of family, and I work at the church, and I still prepare my sermon.
Yeah, you do. As far as I can tell, I'm gonna have Brian look into that.
Do you want a cigar?
Do you have a cigar?
Do you want a cigar?
You're joking me right now.
Tell me.
Yes.
Oh, you do?
Mm-hmm.
What would you do for the cigar, or what would you not do?
Certainly wouldn't imply that you aren't preaching your own messages.
Sounds good. I don't have a cigar.
I didn't think so. So, yeah, I mean, there's a lot going on here. So we want to revisit this because this, we never said it wasn't a big deal, but it is clearly a problem when this has been somewhat of a pattern.
And it's continuing. We saw Romans 1. I thought we saw Romans. Well, I'm going to look right here.
Romans 8, Romans 11 or 10, I forget.
Yeah, so Romans 8, Romans 14.
Yeah.
This one doesn't say. And then we saw Romans 1.
Yeah, there's more. You
only sent me a couple of them.
Yeah.
And
I didn't want to text bomb you. I didn't want to.
Yeah, I appreciate that. So I listened to them and I was like,
it's bad.
It's so, the part like you're talking about is, never mind.
Okay, let me give you an example.
Are you going to do the youth pastor one?
No.
Okay.
No, you do the youth pastor one. Because here's what bothered me. Now, this is okay. I'm gonna come off like a jerk, but I'm just trying to be honest.
All right, here we go.
All right,
you're not a jerk because I know who you are. Go.
JD is quoting Augustine.
Yes. Yes. That's a good one. Yep.
In all things, charity, right?
Yep.
And all that. Oh, I'm sorry. In things essential, unity. Right?
Yeah, and he does. Yeah, yeah. He doesn't think it's. He doesn't think it's.
That's my point.
Yeah.
So he's quoting Augustine, and then but he
Maybe.
goes, but he. He's quoting Augustine, and then he goes, but he probably didn't do this. Scholars, debate whether he actually said this or not. And then, so he does this whole thing. Well, now we know Ed is using his notes, and now he's preaching, and he's using that particular illustration, that particular pull quote, and then he says in there, and you know what? I personally don't think this was him, and that comes off as such a lie. Like, I want to ask, what have you read by Augustine? What research have you done into the life of Augustine that would lead you as a scholar to conclude he did not write this?
Yeah. Because
it sounds to me like you're just reading off another guy's notes, and like, so it's not sincere, and it was such a small thing, but like it's the details that make it so much more painful. Because if you're saying I'm going to steal his outline and not mention it because it's merely structural and who cares? Like, I would be like, I don't care. It's the structure of an outline, unless you're getting like wording and stuff like that, like copying and pasting wording. But it's like, oh, I'm going to make these 3 points. He makes these 3 points. I'm going to tweak them up and make them a little bit different. It's like, whatever. But down into those details and those aside comments, it's like it's really hard for me to swallow that.
And so even watching like that video that you're talking about, it really highlights why coming up with your own sermons is vital. Because as you watch JD, he's much more relaxed.
Oh,
he's much more engaging, and he's already a great communicator anyway.
Yeah,
but you know what I mean.
He's good up there.
But he's much more engaging. You can tell like what he's preaching.
It feels like it's his.
It's his, right? You watch Ed, and he had to keep looking down, looking for the right word. He was glued to the notes.
Yeah.
And he had to keep looking for the right word. He kept and follow along because he didn't put in the time. So let's go with, obviously he has, the notes. At the very least, go run through it once or twice before you get up there.
Practice. Well, maybe that is it with a lot of practice. That's the problem, right? Some people, just aren't as, smooth communicators as others. So all of this, is creating a lot of controversy because he's the new president of the SBC. It's been covered by Newsweek, which is pretty crazy. Like the article appeared in Newsweek talking about this, and then I think that same article appeared in the Washington Post.
Yep, I was just looking for some of those. Yep,
and it's like, so yeah, everybody's kind of paying attention, and we're looking kind of stupid right now on a number of levels. Number one, I'm not trying to dog you, Ed, but like, this is a bad look. Like, what you did, in my estimation, is unacceptable. I would get in trouble for this, and that's not why you should get in trouble. But it's because I think it's wrong to genuinely go that deep into to move beyond getting help and resources into not doing the work of building a sermon.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's bad for a pastor. So I think there's a principle level there that I have a problem with. But I forgot what I was building up to.
Well, I think one of the parts you were mentioning there was how we look, right? It
yeah,
looks
that's right.
bad as a convention. Now, we have outsiders looking in. and seeing what's going on.
And it's not just, so that's what, thank you. You're so good at remembering where I was going because I always forget. So I was thinking like, it looks bad because, okay, our new president, whether it's true or not, right? He looks hacky to the world because he's using another guy's preaching, right? That's just how it looks, whether or not it's true. But then on top of it, man, even more discouraging to me is the way people are talking about all of this on Twitter. It's just, people are just so amped and awful.
And before we get to that, I want to make one point of clarity here.
Yeah.
I don't care about outsiders looking in and seeing the dirty laundry, right? Like,
yeah.
Especially if it comes down to sexual abuse and cover-ups and scandals. I want that stuff exposed and dealt with and rooted out, right? All that, I'm not here with big Eva cover-up.
Right.
But this is, I'm trying to think of the right word because no matter how I say it, it sounds so callous.
Well, let me say it this way.
Yeah, please say it.
So we don't have 5 minutes of dead air, as Jimmy thinks. I hate you. I would say this. Like, I don't mind the world knowing the truth about us.
Yeah.
What is true about us. But I will still grieve and mourn sin or embarrassment like that comes from like shame that would come from misconduct. So if there is a sexual abuse allegation or, if some of the guys on the executive committee are trying to cover up sexual abuse allegations or something, or not deal with them, like that will simultaneously, I don't mind the world knowing that, but it's still going to bother me that it's true. It's not just, it doesn't bother me as much. I think this might be what you're saying. It's not that they know, it's that it's true. That's the painful part. Like, this is true of us. That's painful. Sin is painful.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's a part of it. Are you still processing?
Yeah, I'm processing because, yeah. I guess I'm saying like, it's all like it's all unnecessary. It's all unnecessary. This is not what we need at all.
Right.
And I'm willing to deal with like, I want to deal with that sin. I want to deal with all of it. And this seems kind of petty when it in comparison. It's like,
yeah, there are other issues that are
that's
bigger.
it. We have so many. That's why I'm really frustrated.
Yeah.
Is we have so many other issues. We have these other issues that we need to deal with and rectify. And here you bring this.
This has all the attention.
This has all the attention. I don't want this to have the attention. I don't want any of it at all. I don't want none of this stuff. But if I want the attention back on, let's deal with this cover up. Let's deal with some institutional issues. Let's deal with critical race theory. Let's deal with all these things within our convention that we need to root out.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. It's but this is easy. This is a lot easier to handle, to digest. You don't have to be a scholar to understand preaching something that's not your own creation. But to actually truly understand CRT, you got to put in a lot of work. You got to put in a lot of effort to really understand it.
Yeah.
It's a worldview. It's big. You can understand pieces of it and parts of it. And I can only understand pieces and parts of it. The parts that I adopt as a woke social justice warrior. Come at me, bros. No, I'm kidding. I think that it's easier to kind of wrap your hands around and go. That's why, and it's also a bit more salacious, right? Like, oh, the new guy has been caught. He's been busted. Like that might trigger some people to like want to go all in on it. So I think that's why in part, but yeah, we have a lot of other things to deal with. So I think we need to deal with it. What do you think they should do? What do you think he should do?
Well, hold on. I'm going to start with us as a convention.
Okay.
I think us as a convention, we need to be honest and honest and consistent.
Yep.
Because listen, there's voices out there, large voices that are nowhere to be found right now.
Yeah.
I mean, can I say it?
You can say whatever you want, man.
Well, I'm just
it's your
say,
podcast too.
I'm going to say exactly what we talked about at the beginning here, right? How is it that culture warrior, what's his name? Moeller has so much to say on everything else.
Okay, by the way, we didn't say this earlier. We said it before we were on air. Made it sound like you said we said this earlier, but it makes it sound like we said it earlier on the air.
Oh, okay.
All right. So.
I thought I said before we recorded, but nonetheless. All right. But Moeller is silent here.
Yeah, that is awkward. Like it's a big deal. He comments on the culture every week. Or is it every day? I don't know how it works. It is briefing?
Yeah, every day.
It's every day. All right. I don't know how you're not talking about this. I don't know.
Well, hold on. Did he say it yesterday or the day before?
I don't think it's been addressed, but...
Hold on. Let's double check before we... Go ahead. Keep going, though.
So, I mean, I would imagine people... I mean, all I've been seeing is people I don't listen to the briefing.
I know, that's why I'm
So-
checking before you keep putting your foot in your mouth.
But I'm not putting my foot in my mouth.
I know, it's
I'm
okay.
about to put my foot. Like, hang on. Wait, what?
What?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to say anything. Yeah, it is. It does feel a little odd that people that have addressed this issue before and have public voices and have large platforms, many of them are not addressing this issue. Now, I don't think it's fair to say nobody's calling out Ed Litton, because it seems to me, by my estimation and my experience, I know Jimmy hates that argument, but
Which one?
That from all that I have seen, he's getting more heat than passes. He's getting more press than pass. But he is getting a pass from a lot of people, of course, and being like, there's nothing to see here. So, but then for there to be silence from people that have previously addressed the issue, who have a stake in the discussion, to not say anything is awkward. Yes.
Yeah, I don't see it for today, for yesterday, or Monday.
Yeah, so that's about it.
When did it come out?
I think over the weekend.
Over the weekend, right?
Last week, yeah. So yeah, lots of time to address it. And
I mean, he did talk about UFOs.
Yeah. People want us to talk about UFOs.
I know, and I already know you're not going to.
Yeah, I will.
No, you won't.
I totally will. I'll be ready to talk about it when we record on Saturday.
Okay.
Yeah, 100%.
Why
Why wouldn't I want to? Who knows
Do you
more
want
about
me to- do you want me
UFOs?
to say it?
You or me?
Do you
Who
want-
knows more about UFOs? You or me?
You.
Okay, so why wouldn't I want to talk about it?
Am I going to say this?
You can say whatever you want.
I'm going to go to our text thread about it.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks. Thanks, Julie Royce. Going through my texts, busting me. Okay. I'll say this much. I don't want to follow somebody else's stuff, right? So it's like, I know that like Jared and those guys are going to be doing it, and I don't want to follow them and do something they've already done. It's like, I like do our thing.
I was like, Joey, let's do it. Let's do it. Hooray. And you're like, no, I have less interest.
No, it's like, if other people are doing it, but then everybody's doing this too. We'll do the UFO thing. People want to know. People want to know. And I'll tell you, because I have been abducted like 3 times. And so I can tell you not only who they are and why they're here, but what they look like. I can tell
really?
you.
You
Oh,
can?
yeah, man. I've been up there. Yeah, man. Got the probes. Man, I got the
Joey.
got those things they embed in your skin, on your
Joey.
spine, so they can track you.
Joey.
Visit me at night. Yeah, get the whole thing. You don't think anybody's gonna think that's real, do you? Does anybody take me seriously when I say that stuff?
I don't think so.
Okay, good.
I don't think
Because
so.
sometimes people,
But some people are taking serious that Trump's going to be president again in August.
yeah, 2 things. People think I believe in Bigfoot, which I don't. I just like Bigfoot, and people think Trump's gonna be back in office. Hey, guess what?
What's that?
I wanted to say something. Now we ran out of time.
No, say it.
What I wanted to say was, if you are a member of a church and you're discouraged and you're wondering,
go
like,
ahead.
all these pastors are like, they're not preaching their own stuff. And yes, it does happen. But let me assure you, let me promise you, most pastors, good pastors, they want you to know the word. They want to know the word for themselves. In fact, what they want to do is they want to preach to you what they need to hear. They don't just want to talk to you as if you are these weirdos that are out there that need God's help. They need God's help. They know you need God's help. So they want to give to you what they hope to experience, and they labor over the word. So don't give up on your pastors. Don't give up on your preachers. Pray for them and get ready to feast on the word on Sunday.
Well, we'd love to hear your thoughts. You can follow us online on Instagram and Twitter at Doc and Devo, or on Facebook /Doctrine and Devotion. You can head to the website, doctrinedevotion.com. There you can contact us. You can sign up for the email blast or hit up the store, jofostore.com, and grab some gear. Hey, Joe, we got that fresh pod every Monday and Thursday.
Yeah,
So
we
we're going
do.
to be back on track on Monday with the 1689.
Yes, we are. 16,
We got that blog
well, it's
post.
actually, it's
we got the blog
it's
post.
the catechism. Yeah.
We've got the blog post and video content over at the website with Joe has got some
I'm
new
doing some little video
stuff.
things, little teasers.
So we got those right there. So
Yep.
you can go head on to the website and find those. We've got that banter of truth and weekday wisdom happening on Tuesdays and Monday through Fridays. Head on over to doctrinedevotion.com/all access.
Thank you
and
for
get
subscribing.
registered there.
Yeah, it's awesome. Glad that they subscribed. Telling a friend.
They are telling friends.
I know.
We're seeing it grow.
I know.
People are liking it.
I know. I'm liking
We
it.
need to figure out like more exclusive content
Yeah.
to give just to those listeners.
Well, maybe what we could do
Yep.
is we could just like copy what other podcasts are doing and get permission.
We can
And
get permission.
that,
Just
and then just say the same stuff, like on UFOs.
like on UFOs, just
Yeah, yeah.
like we're gonna just take the content from others,
Yeah.
and go ahead and just do it,
Yeah.
right there for ourselves.
That's what I think. I think it would work. I'd
I
be
think
happy with
it might work.
Okay.
All right,
I'll call Jared.
all right, you call and let them know.
All right.
All right, thanks everyone. We really appreciate your support. Later.